guys, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here, we are back from one of our Patreon one-shots, and this month we are playing a back-to-back double-barrel shotgun blast of Glenbrook. This one is called Scavenger Hunt. And if you guys like what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is just like these fine folks you see here before you by joining us over on our Patreon. Link in the chats, link in the description down below, link in all the places. These folk, at least. While you're down there clicking on that link in the description, make sure you click on that Discord link, join us in the Discord, be a part of the community, be a part of the conversation. And as always, in the bottom right-hand corner, you will see the corruption bar. That bar serves two purposes. One is when that bar fills, I do something probably horrible to G. And two, every single dollar that goes back into that bar goes back to this channel for all kinds of fun things like mortgages and lights, cameras, and actions. And without further ado, the year 1986. The place, New England. More specifically, Rhode Island. The home of Mercy Brown, America's first vampire. The site of many dark and lurid tales from the mind of HP Lovecraft. The home of the infamously haunted Perron Family. And now the site of one of the largest government research facilities in the world. The Loop. We will start today's session inside our hideout. We'll fast forward past any kid day in the life stuff. It is Saturday, April 5th, 1986. And we find Shane Hughes, Dee Miller, and Jordana Fisher in the broken down mill, broken down Slater's mill, the abandoned mill, where they have made their own home away from home. And in fact, some people, it is quite literally their home away from home. As there is evidence, you may have seen before, of someone living here, someone by the name of JoJo, who has been on again, off again, living in this space. You are used to the mill, the wide open floors, perfect for zooming. You are used to the broken glass and the trees and everything around. As we plunge firmly into spring and all of the foliage begins to come back and lush green canopy kind of covers the mill, we'll say we'll open on the second floor where you guys have your little office there. What do we see each of you doing?
So,
go ahead.
Okay. So I think, and Melissa, forgive me, I'm going to speak for Dee for a second, but I really just love this visual. So Shane is kind of sitting in a chair with one hand on one end of a jump rope. The other is holding a book he's reading. The other end of the jump rope is tied to a doorknob on the wall or some hook against the wall. He is just turning it, and Dee is zooming back and forth every once in a while, stopping to make a couple of jumps through the jump rope, come back, and every once in a while, if it's been too long, Shane, without even looking up from the book, too far, Dee. And this just repeats over and over and over again.
I'll add to that. Yes, indeed. That's a perfect start for Dee and Shane. I do want to go back a little bit so that we set some contact for Dee for the day, though. I think when Shane picked her up that day, Pops was already gone from the house. And when he opened the door, Dee was there, standing there with a note on her, pinned to her overalls, as well as a $20 bill. And the note said, "I'm not going to force you to stay in the house with the little tornado," it's in quotes. But Dee is grounded. No cartoons, no speed racer, no bike racing, no treats. If you can get her to finish her math homework, there's an extra 10 in it for you.
Holy shit, freaking rich.
Okay, so in that case, the chair that Shane is sitting in is at a little table where there is a minorly started but completely unfinished piece of math homework and a pencil. And again, every once in a while, Dee, homework, which she completely ignores.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
She after 100 zooms, she has to sit down and do a problem.
Yeah, she'll zoom around, then she'll sit down and panting, and you notice her eyes are a little bit red rimmed, but she's still Dee.
Now we have to ask, what did you do to get grounded?
I said, I'll do it later, Pops. I'll do it later. I have a headache. And then Pops, he was like, it's funny how you're always sick when it's time for homework. You're grounded. And, I was sure looking forward to Speed Racer. I really was.
Yeah, that'll get you.
Gonna be a homeless. Do you think I'm gonna be homeless when I grow up, Shane?
Okay, so yeah, I'm imagining this conversation like as you're scribbling on a math problem. No, you can always stay here like JoJo.
Oh, good. That's a good idea.
Yeah, JoJo's a good roommate. And Fish says from like the beanbag chair off to the side.
God help me, Fish. I thought you were going to say role model.
That's what I'm gonna say next time the Pop says I have to do my homework.
No. You can say that next time he says he threatens that you'll be homeless. If he actually threatens that you'll be homeless, you can say, no, I have. Tell him you have contingency plans.
I have contingency plans. I'm gonna be a couch surfer.
Okay.
That sounds like fun. And you hear between, as Fish is playing the Nintendo Super Mario Brothers.
I just imagine like a thought bubble, right? Like a cartoon style, like a very 80s freeze frame, and then we see the thought bubble of when Dee Dee says, "I'm gonna be a couch surfer," like excitedly of what this cartoon perfect version of Dee Dee on a couch surfing.
Surfing.
Her
That's
interpretation
art,
of what
Melissa,
that
that's
means.
art.
Yeah.
With a Capri Sun in one hand. You know?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, it's one of the grenade shaped jug juices with the tinfoil lid. So you just wrap your whole mouth around and chug them down.
I remember those.
Yes. Jesus. This is fucking TD Serpent. Perfect.
Welcome to the session, folks. This is what it's going to be.
This is it. We're investigating something.
Yeah.
Fish, as you are playing, actually, you know what? I'll just shut up. The scene is yours. What are you guys doing here? As we see Shane reading, Dee Dee intermittently zooming and doing homework, and Fish playing on the Nintendo. What are you all collectively doing on this kind of brisk Saturday morning? It is the beginning of April, so the temperatures aren't what I'd say warm, but they're not frigid either. Probably low 50s.
Cold
enough
at night,
for,
warmer in the day.
Yeah, enough for a hoodie in the morning or a sweater in the morning and a sweater at night, but maybe a t-shirt by 2 or 3. But what are you all doing here in this fine Saturday morning?
Yeah, Fish is playing the Nintendo since her plan was to play with Dee Dee until she found out that she was grounded, and Shane is holding fast to that because I'm sure he wants to get that $10, which I totally don't blame him. So she is, instead of doing like a co-op game or a 2-player game, she's just playing Mario Brothers right now, and she's doing pretty good. But she's the type of kid that like jumps the remote as you jump over the gap. And then when Dee Dee asks if she's gonna be homeless when she's older, and she's like, well, if you don't want to stay here with JoJo, you can probably live with me when I'm older.
I'd love that. That would be amazing. Hey, I'm bored. Can we go?
And she hits pause, and she gets up and she puts her hands in her pockets like, well, you got to do some of your math homework at least. And she wanders over and like looks down. What about this one?
Dee Dee grabs the pencil and she draws a happy face and says, "Let's go."
So Shane kind of stands up a little bit weary, and we see for the first time, the camera sees for the first time, that what Shane is actually reading is not a mystery novel for once. It is, in fact, the Rhode Island driver's manual, as Shane is going to be turning 16 in about a month.
Oh, no.
Shit.
Yep.
That's not good.
Right?
No.
And he kind of, puts a thumb in his page and closes it and holds it up to you and say, nope, if I've got to do my homework, you've got to do yours. Then we have fun.
Hey, how about I do your homework and you do mine?
No, that would be a bad idea. No. Uh,
Let's all
Okay,
just
you
picture
do.
Dee Dee driving for a second.
right.
Yeah.
He actually considered it for a moment because this is really boring.
Okay.
No,
so
no.
Shane does his homework. You do yours, and
Yeah.
I'll do mine. And she
Unfor-
goes and grabs her she grabs her notebook, like her mom's journal, and like a whole like folder, like a duotang folder, just jammed with papers.
See,
And she sits down.
Shane kind of leans in, looking conspiratorially and talking like a little bit under his breath, but still so everyone can hear him. Besides, your dad knows my handwriting by now.
Fine. And so she grabs the paper and lays down on the ground and starts scribbling. And
Numbers, please.
yeah, if you notice, what she's doing is she'll pause for a moment and she'll write down the answer without putting down any of her work. And then she'll move on to the next one. Then she'll move on to the next one.
Showing your work is overrated anyway.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Just reenacting my childhood, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So we see a very disgruntled Dee Dee doing her homework. We see Shane studying for his driving exam. And what do we see Fish doing? You said you pulled out a notebook. What are you doing with this notebook?
Yeah, she just pulls out her notebook that has all of her conspiracy theory notes that she's taken. What date was our last session in March?
March 28th.
Oh, it's like a week.
Yeah, March 28th.
Okay. Yeah, so she just splays out some notes that she's taken, specifically notes that were relayed about the conversation they overheard in the school between Principal Gleason and Mr. Black, and then all the details that she could write down from the information they hacked out of the Sorensen's computer. And I think she just kind of rotates in her chair and she's kind of looking at it maybe a little morosely. And then she will get up and start like tacking it on her little conspiracy board.
Okay. Yeah, so you begin to add things to your board. Does any of it make sense to you yet?
Well, she stands back and like puts her hands on her hips. Shane, have you had any weird experiences around the school?
Since let's see. There was the time that we all went, what was it, invisible and intangible, I think. And there was the lock in at the, was it bowling alley?
Mm.
Oh yeah, and then the whole thing with Billy, and he kind of shoots a look
Yeah.
over to Dee Dee, and then a meaningful look at Fish that says, "We're not going to talk about what it was, but you know what I mean."
Yes.
And so Shane had been kind of unconsciously splitting his attention back and forth between the driver's manual and what Fish was doing on the board. So he just kind of sighs, stands up, uh, goes over and kind of leans down on like a desk or a wall or something, and says, "What you got? You're adding new art."
Well, we overheard something in the school last week, and I don't know, it seems kind of scary. Like, look, and she points to a handwritten note that she has here. It's like Principal Gleason said something about the students are showing potential and that they have compiled files about prime candidates. What does that mean? Like, prime candidates for what?
I'm assuming colleges, maybe like, I don't know, the Olympics of the mind or something.
She looks thoughtful.
Mathletes.
Yep.
Maybe that could be a cover.
It could, or like,
But they were talking about soft spots. And that's Mr. Brody said, if you wanted to cross dimensions, the best way to do it is to find a soft spot in the fabric of your universe or whatever, and that's how you could get through. And then Mr. Black referenced the exact same thing. You know?
okay, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying there are more mundane possibilities. Can we meet there?
Well, sure, but then
Okay.
that doesn't really get us to the scariness of it. Unless you find math competitions scary. And she looks down at Dee Dee.
No, I actually like them. Anyway, I'm saying that, you know, there are mundane explanations that could be misinterpreted from overhearing snippets of conversation. That's all I'm saying.
That is true. But, what?
If we want to go to the soft places, then we should go there. And she pokes her
Ah!
finger at the map
Oh.
and at the lake, and then she turns to Shane and hands him her paper. Um, and then she lets out like the messiest, wettest sneeze all over the paper and continues to hand it to him.
I thought you were going to say
You know,
fart.
80s
I'm
kids
like,
don't.
no.
80s kids don't cover their mouth when
Yeah.
they sue.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know.
There
Gross.
was no germs in the 80s. That's what we had all those vaccines for.
No, it was good for you to be exposed to germs.
Yeah,
when you were
absolutely.
young.
Chicken
Kids
pox
never got
parties.
sick in the 80s.
As I remember chickenpox parties. So
Oh, yeah.
Ew.
yeah,
Get
seriously.
Good.
Okay, so he kind of shakes it off a little bit. Is it done, first of all?
Of course, yeah, it's all done. Look.
Is it no? This is not Shane asking Didia. This is the player looking at the paper.
Well, what you would see like a mix of things, like because you know, Pops had been working with her on it, and in that way, like the first several problems actually had the work done, and then the last problems that she did here do not show work, but they have answers. Who knows if it's the correct thing? Are you going to actually pay that close attention? But amidst all of that is like lots of doodles, you know, notes, drawings, all sorts of stuff.
So I mean, Shane is no slouch at math, so he's gonna look it over and make sure that it's at least mostly right. Paying more attention to the ones that you did here than the ones that your dad helped you with.
Oh yeah, they're mostly right because
Okay.
she's a bright kid.
I figured that, but say if you finish your homework and it comes back with like a failing grade, I may see 5 of that 10. So all right.
They can't fail you.
Good job, kiddo. Good job.
Hey, if math is supposed to solve all these real world problems, like why do we have this? And she gestures at the board.
Because what we need to learn, Dee Dee, is quantum mechanics. Theoretical quantum mechanics.
That's what we need
If
to
you
learn.
move in with me, after I graduate, I'll get my own place, and then you can come and live with me, and then we'll become scientists, and then we'll learn how to like travel to different universes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, I now seriously want
And
fan
she
art
will
of
hold up her hand for a high five.
I want fan art of Fish and Dee Dee as Bunsen and Beaker.
Jesus. Name this duo, I dare you.
But Dee Dee is Beaker.
This is
for
the
sure.
dynamic
Yes,
duo.
exactly. Yeah.
Dee Dee's-
Yeah. Oh, Dee Dee. Yeah. Yes. Fish and Dee Dee are Bunsen and Beaker, respectively.
Don't mock us. Don't mock our
Hey.
excitement. Girls
so
in
good. I
STEM,
could just-
whatever.
Me. I love Bunsen and Beaker.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, first of all, good job. Second of all, okay. You did the work. You get the reward. Why the lake?
Because it's weird there.
Is the Dreaming Lake the same lake where we went to at next at 6?
Yep, it's Manitou Lake.
Okay. Yeah, we had a weird time there too. Like really weird. Like John and Rossi might be in an alternate universe type of weird. But
When is the last time that I saw John?
Static Contact?
Yeah, Static Contact.
Okay.
So February 15th. Like on screen, February 15th.
Okay.
It's also been school, so.
Okay, so yes,
Like they went through some kind of portal or something in the water, and they came up, and there was blue flames, and it wasn't hot. What do they call that? Atopic? Yeah.
something like that.
And then Jojo fell in the water, and then he got mad at me for some reason. Boys.
All right.
He sniffles and like
Mm-hmm.
draws her nose across her sleeve.
Gross.
Shane goes into his backpack, pulls out a box of tissues, draws 2, pulls them out to Dee Dee.
Oh, thank you.
Out, not in,
told-
please.
I told Pops I had a headache.
Well, just don't get us sick.
She sneezes again.
Mm-hmm. But what's concerning to me, and she reaches out, she points right to something that that was overheard. See, they know that kids are poking around. And then Mr. Black said something about us meeting the consequences. Danny thinks that they're KILL us. But I think that's a little over dramatic.
She's 10.
I don't know. She's trying to censor what she can.
She's also bored now, so she's no longer
Yeah.
there. She's downstairs doing something. Y'all are talking too much.
She can spell that.
Yeah.
KILL. She's not there anyway. It doesn't matter.
She's just running around going KILL.
KILL.
Just get that all out of your system before I bring you home, would you please?
Oh my god.
What did you learn today? KILL.
KILL. That spells kill.
Yeah. K is for kill. Okay.
Her dad just holds out his hand and Shane has to dejectedly put the money back.
Yeah.
He has to give him an extra $20.
All right.
But like, okay. If they were experimenting on kids, the best cover would be to tell the parents that they're doing legitimate things like math competitions and I don't know,
Other shady things
spelling
like college.
bees. Oh, how grade are we in? Like, well, I guess if you're older, sure, but I'm not thinking about like they're not talking to me about college yet. What am I in grade 9?
How old are you?
14? No, 13? 13?
Grade
No,
9.
I'm not
Oh,
even
yeah.
in high school yet. Maybe.
I don't know. What's the date cutoff in Rhode Island?
13.
Okay, so I would be in grade 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so Shane kind of takes a breath like he's going to keep arguing and kind of looks at you and smiles and just kind of sighs. I know that look.
What?
You're not letting this go. So let's just go. Because I
You
know
hear
this.
a
You're
you
not
hear a
letting
loud
this go.
clattering sound from downstairs, and then you hear Dee Dee say, "I'm okay."
She's okay.
Fine.
Let's at least go downstairs.
Okay. But yeah,
Uh,
I don't want to let it go because it also has to do with my mom. And Shane remembers when we
That's-
were in the basement and she found that picture.
Yep.
In the faux Sorensen's basement.
Oh, yes. You're right. I'm sorry. I know this is important to you. You just remember to stay a little bit out of your own head, okay?
What does that mean?
Don't 100% buy into all the conspiracy theories. That's how you go down the really, really, really dark paths. Okay. 95% is okay. Can we stay away from 100? Please?
I guess, but
Okay.
I don't know, like, how do we know what's real and what's not? As they're walking downstairs.
Philosophy was never my strong suit. D&D?
As you make your way downstairs, what do they find on the first floor, Dee Dee?
I don't know what's downstairs, but let's just say that there is now a very tall pile of cardboard boxes. Not a pile, but a tower of cardboard boxes. And Dee Dee is on the ground, making snow angels without any snow on the floor.
In the asbestos.
In the asbestos.
Lead angels.
Angels.
Oh, yeah, the lead paints, flakes. Oh, Jesus.
Come on.
Shane, if everyone says that you should be yourself, why are they always telling you what to change about yourself?
Because grown-ups don't make any sense.
Yeah, the grown-ups are always trying to, like, sometimes I hear my dad say, like, reliving their glory days, like,
Oh, like that Bruce Springsteen song? Ugh.
maybe.
He did that
But she looks at Dee Dee. I think sometimes parents, like, they see the things that they didn't do or they did wrong when they were kids, and so they're trying to make sure we don't make the same mistakes, whether or not they're actually mistakes or not.
Should make up their minds,
Yeah.
Read something in one of my books about what's it called? I think it's called, was it Living Vicariously? That was it.
Yeah.
Vicariously.
Yeah. It means that they watch us and they want us to do the things that they never could. And so they kind of do it kind of by proxy. It's weird.
Yeah.
They always wanted to do their homework.
Okay, you got me there, kid. Good one.
Well, like, sometimes, like, I had this friend back in California, their dad never graduated high school. So her dad was always really adamant and, like, on her butt all the time about doing her homework and staying in school and getting good grades so she could graduate because he never did, stuff like that.
Mm.
But then they also do, like, weird stuff. Like, I got drunk all the time when I was your age. You don't want to do that either, or I don't want you to do that because that's not good for you. I don't know.
Yep.
Adults are stupid, and I'm not going to become one.
Either. Let's be kids that are astrophysicists.
Yes. Ooh. That'd be cool. And then Rossi can, like, write stories about us and our adventures.
And sell them to the mafia.
Nope, not yet.
Um,
Doogie Howser has not come out yet. Darn it.
What are you... you're headed to the Dreaming Lake, right? That's the plan?
Yep.
What are you bringing with you, if anything?
No. Well, she's going to bring all her notes. Okay. She's gonna bring. It's daytime, so we don't need, like, light sources in theory.
Yeah.
Right. She's gonna bring their little Swiss Army binoculars.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She's going to borrow Rossi's Swiss Army knife that she gifted him, and she will absolutely return to him.
Dee Dee has a backpack, and in that backpack is always a set of pink child-sized tools that she uses to tinker on her bike with.
Okay.
She does not have her bike because her bike is locked up in the garage. So they'll have to figure out how to get there without her having a bike.
She rides on the pegs of Shane's. Because of course Shane's bike has pegs. Because Dee Dee has to get places somehow.
Fishes does not have pegs.
Shane also has his backpack. One thing that is in there that Fish doesn't know about. Gee, when is Fish's birthday?
July.
Okay. Shane has gone and bought a little like micro cassette recorder and a bunch of blank tapes. And unbeknownst to Fish, has been recording anytime he gets involved in one of the weird things, because he's going to get his plan is to make the compilation of tapes and give them to Fish as a birthday present.
Ooh, that's cool.
So yes, he has at some point when Fish is not looking, he slips the recorder out of the backpack. He always makes sure that there's a fresh blank tape and good batteries before he leaves the house, because he's learned this lesson before. And kind of slips it into his pocket and hits record.
Sweet. That's some good data right there. Yeah, and Fish will also have her tape with her usual shit, in her bag, her mom's journal. I don't know. I don't have no idea what else we're gonna need when we're over there. I'll just go like this.
Okay.
We'll just wing it.
Yeah, not a trick question. I just want to know what you guys are bringing. I mean, you're in your hideout, so you can take any number of things that you have here. So you guys head out, having a slightly existential conversation as you do so about the merits of growing old and or not, and child metaphysics. And the three of you across two bikes pedal your way out of the area that the mill is in, and onto the main street, and then you begin to head out of town. Now, Manitou Lake is it's in Glenbrook, in the larger part of Glenbrook. It is outside the like shops and towns and houses sort of area. And there are a few like campgrounds in the nearby region. But some of you have been to the Dreaming Lake before, Manitou Lake. The picnics there, family little trips there. It's a small lake, not big enough for a boat, but it is big enough to fish in, big enough to swim in, etc. And you guys head through, and you stop your bikes at like a large like dirt parking lot, essentially, and at the edge of a forest. And there are a number of walking paths and trails that lead through here that you could take into the forest towards the lake. Are you guys proceeding on your bikes, or are you walking in there, or are you going somewhere specific?
So,
go ahead.
So Shane has had this conversation with Dee Dee probably 5 to 6 times on the way there, that she is not to go in the lake without me.
And like this, yeah. So like Dee Dee will the sixth time. Shane says that Dee Dee will say it along with him.
There you go.
I'm not to go into the lake without you.
There you go.
It's probably frozen still.
He kind of reaches back for a high five. That's my kiddo.
And like 30 degrees.
Yeah. Oh, like that would stop her.
I don't know, man.
In Rhode Island,
I don't know, man. Yeah, it sure does. It sure does. It's very fucking cold.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a hurricane, right?
Yeah, frozen hurricane. Those are a different thing entirely. A frocane, as they're called. Yeah. So, how are you headed in here, Fish? I think you've been the only person to come here on a weird situation. Everyone else has been here normally, right? You've been here as well,
apparently.
There was like there was the time with the like circles.
Oh,
and
shit.
the cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I learned all that information about.
Yeah. That was
Frozen Echoes.
Frozen Echoes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Over in February.
No, but so next at 6 when I can't remember how we got here. The clue that brought us to the lake with Rossi, John, and Jojo, and then with Dee Dee, Jojo, and Rossi. So Rossi's been there twice, and then I also sleepwalked here. I think when it was the all boys episode,
the lock-in episode.
The lock-in, yeah, they saw me.
That's true. So Shane, you would have been here for lock-in.
Oh yeah, yep. Well, no, because because we followed everyone to the lake. So yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so do people usually bring their bikes like on these paths?
You can. They're like it's like a trail, like a hiking trail. You can.
So she's totally gonna ride her bike.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, you're just
Come
riding
on,
it through the
Trevor.
woods. Trevor?
Ride your bike, Trevor.
You mean Shane?
Shane.
Oh, I see.
And as we're going down the bumpy thing, Dee Dee is saying, "Faster, faster!"
Okay, they'll race there.
Every time we go down a little bit of a hill, Shane, when they get to the top of the hill, Shane asks you, "You ready?" And as they crest the hill and go down, he just kind of takes his feet off the pedals.
Yeah, and
Fish got 2 successes.
If they go
on
over,
her
if they
race.
catch a little air, she's happy to take a little. She lets herself fly a little bit. Yeah, it's good.
I rolled
Love
2
that.
successes for my race to beat him to the lake edge.
Is it hard or move, or is it force or move?
It's
I rolled force.
I mean, for Shane, it would be force because you're carrying someone with you. But yeah, you can roll off. We'll roll off here.
Sure.
It's like how fast can you
Yeah.
pedal?
Yeah.
Force.
Nope, you win.
Aw.
You win.
Yeah.
So you turn down the last embankment of this hiking trail, and the lake spreads out before you. You kick backwards on your pedals, and you carve this like half moon, this crescent moon shape, and it's cool, and dirt and rocks fly everywhere, and it's sick. And you know that if the boys were here, it applies to a specific group of people, they would have thought it was real cool, for sure.
I shredded for
You
sure.
did. You shredded it. And it was super gnar, bro. And you pull over here. Shane spins rocks behind you. Dee Dee hops off, and you see a serene lake spread out before you. Everything looks very mundane.
Oh. Sure. Great.
Sure.
Is it frozen? Is the lake frozen?
It is not.
Well. Okay. Lakes
Things
are
are
still
usually
frozen up here
things are
until
usually-
June.
well, you live in the tundra. It's 50 degrees here. Things aren't frozen anymore. Yeah, you
Dee Dee takes
Go ahead.
Dee Dee takes off for the lake, and she's sure that she's diving in, and then she comes to an abrupt halt right at the edge, and she turns around and looks at him.
Yeah, Shane.
Stay there. And I walk. I walk towards her, not run, but walk, and I'm kind of keeping eye contact and a finger pointing at her. The whole time, stay there.
Like when you're trying to make your dog not run away. Like, you don't run away from me.
Pretty much, yeah, exactly.
Oh my god. Yeah, so as he's like posturing towards her, she's just like surveying the scene, and I'm gonna roll an observation.
What are you trying to observe? What are you looking for?
Anything out of the ordinary?
Everything here looks super ordinary. It looks like a lake. What you tell me, what is out of the ordinary for you? What are you specifically looking for?
Okay. Are there
There's no
any
blue
weird...
fire.
Okay, but are there any black weird trees that are like dead?
There are no black weird trees, or if there are, they look normal. They look like a normal, like a winterized, like dead tree.
Okay.
Nothing looks like scary. here. The water is pretty still, but for any of the rocks that might have plunked in as Dee Dee came to a halt. They're a perfect mirror image of the sky, a blue cloudless sky above your head, and the wind blows through the trees.
Okay.
Are there any
There's
circles?
There's no one sleepwalking around. or
No
anything
one's
weird?
sleepwalking in the middle of the day, and you don't see any strange circles on the ground.
Hmm.
Any the circles were technically only visible because of the snow, because they were slightly warmer than the surrounding area. But there's no snow here. Grass is coming
Can we
back.
say
We
there's
can
like
go
a
to the
little-
cabin.
Maybe, but that's a little ways away, right?
Still in the area, but a little ways away, yeah.
Can we say there's like a dock that goes out into the a little ways into the water?
So there would be a dock, but not the kind you're thinking of. There would be one of those like plastic barrel, like with the wood on top, floating anchored docks
Like a
out there, so that the kids could
floating
swim out to it and climb up
Oh,
onto
okay.
it. So probably about 20 feet out into the lake, in the deeper part, there is a wooden dock out there.
Okay. So no. Okay. Okay. So she will just walk to the edge of the water, and she will like kind of crouch down, and she'll like just touch the water, like splash her fingers in it, feel how cold it is.
Yeah, you bloop, ripples appear out as normal. It's cold. It's cold. It's
Yeah.
probably, I don't know, Canadian numbers. It's probably close to 0.
Yeah.
So
It
I,
might actually still semi-freeze and like around the edges where it's
Yeah, it
shallow.
might still get that
at
like
night.
frost layer around the edge. Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
so when Fish is doing that, Shane looks at Dee Dee and points at, "You can do that. Nothing more. You can do that."
Yeah, Dee,
Uh,
you definitely don't want to get your toes wet because it's really cold, and you'll get even
I-
more sick.
I know. Dee Dee's gonna go, she'll pick up rocks and throw them in. She'll grab a stick, very big stick, and start drawing lines in the dirt, the wet dirt around the lake. I presume there's wet dirt around
Yeah.
the lake.
Of course it is.
She's gonna start making her way up the lake beach. Lake beach? Is that what you call it?
I guess so.
What would you call the edge of the lake?
That's
It's
a
a
weed.
beach,
That's
right?
what
Shore.
we call
Shoreline.
it. Yeah, the shore.
Yeah.
Lake
The
shore.
shore, okay.
Yeah, you plunk some rocks in there. You stick your hand in. It is cold. In freedom units, it's about 32. And you throw rocks and sticks and basically everything you can find that isn't objectively trash into the lake to see the sounds it makes, the ripples it makes, and you test the bounds of how far away you can get from Shane before he yells at you. Every kid's go-to move. Shane, you are in a weird like babysitter slash like trip sitter mindset where you kind of have to keep one eye on Dee Dee and one eye on the existential whatever Fish is going through right now as she throws rocks dejectedly at the lake that looks arbitrarily mundane. What are you doing in this moment, Shane?
So, and yeah, first of all, he is trying to keep an eye on both girls, but Fish's enthusiasm and devotion to this stuff is contagious. So now she's got him thinking along those lines. So he's also kind of going to keep an eye out for So he was here only for the lock-in, so it's been a few months or a couple months.
It's actually been almost a year, I think.
Was it? Okay.
Lock-in was no, it was October.
Oh,
It was
Okay.
October.
Okay. Yeah. So about 6 months.
Yeah.
At least with something weird happening.
Yeah. And forgive me, it's been a while since I watched that. The actual climax of things that happened, was that at the lake or was that all in the woods? I remember most of it was in the woods.
Both, yeah. It
Okay.
looked like the whole town came here but not everyone can fit around the lake. So
Okay.
everyone was sort of scattered around, and then they just went back.
Okay.
Oh, wait. I know.
I'm gonna see if any of the bits of trees, if I can identify any of them as like where I remember people coming out of, and I'm just kind of looking around the lake just to see anything, see if I can, I don't know, feel something weird. Shane doesn't know.
A vibe check.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He's trying his best to do a Jedi mind trick kind of thing.
Yeah, give me a roll. Give me a if you're doing like a vibe check.
Yep.
It's gonna be mind, and it's gonna be either empathize. I think it's gonna be empathize. Empathize
Yes,
makes the most sense.
Yeah, all three of my mind stats are the same, so
Great.
1 success.
Okay. So you it's hard to recognize like where anyone was specifically unless you have like a specific person that you have sort of like burned into your mind. But you kind of have like they were on this side of the lake. The lake wasn't surrounded. So really between the lake and the parking lot, being the easiest access point, and the woods in between. It wasn't tightly packed like a concert, but it wasn't like super spread out either. So you've kind of identified an area basically to the left of the lake. Similar to the area that you came down from just now, as where the townsfolk would have been in that area those 6 months ago. But as you look through, like maybe you walk away a little bit from the lake and you kind of look into the woods, nothing is standing out to you as strange at this moment. It looks like a regular forest budding into spring.
Okay.
I can't spend any XP for this.
That's because there aren't any in this game.
Yes. She's been finding like flat stones, and she's been skipping them across the surface.
Okay.
And she hasn't lived in Glenbrook very long, less than a year. But she's heard like the rumors about this place. She doesn't remember sleepwalking here. The guys told her, and that kind of freaked her out, but she doesn't remember. If nothing about like the stones skipping across the water looks weird to her, like there's no ripples or whatever, she's gonna look around, and can there be like a shed where they keep like canoe rentals?
Yeah. Why not?
Perfect. I'm gonna run over and bust the door in. No, I'm just kidding.
Aggressive.
Yes.
Absolutely aggressive.
Shades
yeah.
of Caesar.
It's
then-
like
You've been spending way too much time with JoJo.
what it looks like is I don't know if this is universal, but if you've ever been to like a kid's baseball diamond or like a kid's sports field where there is like the snack shack, so it's probably like a 6 foot wide, 4 foot deep shed that has a door on the side, like a handle door on the side, and a like roll up like garage door that's locked on the front of it for like where you can serve snacks out of. And you would see on the back side opposite the roll up, there would be a 3-tiered rack for where you would put canoes if there were canoes there. Obviously, it's not open right now, so there are no canoes, but the door is there. The lock is locked on the shutter. And you've broken into things before.
Yeah, Rossi has the lock picks though, and I did not take the lock picks with me. But she's not below or above. She's not above smashing a lock with a rock. So, especially because she's motivated. So
Yeah.
she's gonna. Shane sees her like standing there, looking around, and then she heads in a direction, and she picks up a large rock, and she's going to use this rock to crack the lock open.
Okay.
So I think you take one last look around before you actually do it, and you see that Shane is looking right at you with this kind of resigned look on his face, and he goes,
It'll be fine. You can
Like-
deny everything.
Exactly. Yeah, no, he is very specifically not looking at you. He is not looking at you so hard it hurts.
Shane does the what's that, Dee Dee? You need my help. I'll be right there.
Pretty much.
But then Dee Dee hears crack.
Yeah.
Crack. Crack.
Fish, go ahead and roll me a force, and I'll give you a +1 bonus for improvised item.
1. No successes.
Would you like to push? Spend your pride? Spend a luck?
I'll spend a luck.
Okay.
I forget. Does Tails have assist? I can't remember.
Tails has an assist. If you can tell me how you assist her in smashing the lock. Alternatively, as luck would have it, Dee Dee, the lockpicking skill is Tinker.
No.
Indeed. I mean, here's the thing: is that Dee Dee had already Shane and Fish had stopped paying attention to her, so she'd already disappeared, and then reappeared because she heard somebody smashing something. She
Like a siren song, Dee Dee.
she shortly, I always imagine whenever the kids are fascinated with something, Dee Dee's off doing something, and then all of a sudden she pokes her head in, and that's the same thing. She pokes her head between both of them and says, hey, I think you're gonna break it doing that.
Well, how else am I gonna get in? I don't have lock.
Well, listen, breaking it isn't gonna help you get in, then you can't pick it. And
Can you pick a lock?
well, I mean, don't tell Pops.
She just like, I won't say anything, and she will step aside.
So she's gonna pull I don't know, I guess I think you would use an ice pick, but I don't know why she would have that in her tools thing. Maybe maybe she has a python, for camping, holding stuff down, one of those
from her tent from the backyard.
Tent spike, yeah.
Yeah, it's a spike. Yeah. She has a little narrow spike, and she's gonna use that, and she's gonna
not a bobby pin,
Melissa.
Not a bobby pin.
She doesn't have a bobby pin. She's not a bobby pin girl. She's a tools girl.
No, so
an ice pick.
What I'm actually envisioning is that no, Dee Dee is not a bobby pin girl, but her father desperately wants her to be. This
isn't. Look, this is a shop. This is a shop lock. This isn't some delicate little door lock. So a shop lock is going to be a lot wider.
Fair.
And so she's going to use her tools. We're not going to use any bobby pins because she would not keep that shit in her hair.
This is a man's lock.
Anyway, so she gets in there with her tools, and she's going to do this thing.
You can get a +1 bonus for your ice pick.
and the rock. And the rock. Can she use the rock?
Sure. It's only one. You only get 1 +1 for the items.
I tried.
What do you get? What do you get for iconic items? I forget.
Your iconic item is a +2.
Okay, so how about? And can you only use that once? Or you can use it as many times as you want.
You can use as many times as it makes sense.
All right, she's gonna pull her goggles down so that her vision's really great.
Great. So you get a +2 for that.
+2.
So a total.
Is it a total of +3?
Yep.
All right.
Jesus. Let's go.
One.
One success is all you need.
10 dice, but
so you goggle it, and it's one of those. Again, I think when you play a 10-year-old, everything happens slightly more cartoonish, right? You get down there, and then you boom, you put them on, and all the sound sort of leaves as you enter into serious mode, and you pull out this pick and the rock, and you got this thing you're doing surgery, and the tongue sticks out a little bit as you're in serious mode. A little song plays in the back of your head.
Fish's hands on knees, crouched over, watching her.
Yeah. A little a timer kind of noise is happening here, you're under pressure, and then you click, and it pops. So just so I know, were you opening the locked door, or were you opening the locked shutter?
Wherever we can.
I mean, Dee Dee would have opened the shutter, not the door, but whatever Fish was opening,
sure.
I think.
Her goal is to get a canoe or a kayak or whatever they would have. One of those paddle boats. Ooh, one of those paddle boats. Yes. And then
It's a 6 foot by 4 foot shed. A paddleboat's huge. There's probably like a kayak, a small kayak.
So let's say it's the window then to make sure that we can get it out. So we open the shutter.
Yeah. So you
gonna take it out,
click, the lock opens and sort of falls or dangles off there. And with nothing holding it on there, it rolls all the way up with a loud.
I win. Yes.
Yep.
Shane will give you $5 of that $10.
You will?
Yep.
Shane's like, I guess I will.
And then she's gonna hop the if there's like, is there like a counter? She'll hop it, and she will.
Yep. You hop over the counter, and you see the remnants of this area. You see a bunch of like buoys tied to ropes that you would know would be like a section where like only kids can go in this area right here, right? You see like a lifeguard buoy. You see the propped up against the wall, like vertically, is a single person kayak, the ones kinds you gotta like get into. You see that there are like paraphernalia here, the snack lock boxes here. There's a couple of coolers in here, a shelf with a radio on it, a flashlight, a first aid kit, that kind of thing.
Flashlight, first aid kit. She is third red set.
Dee Dee's into the snacks.
Yeah.
What's in the snacks?
What do they keep in here over off season?
So what they keep in here over off season is what everyone forgot to take out during the end of season. So it's like the snack pack size Doritos, the nacho cheese, the Cool Ranch, right? A bunch of Lay's chips that are like they're just crunchy enough for you to go, are these stale?
Delicious.
They're
but
just
she's all congested, so she won't be able to taste anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All the chips are just crunchy enough for you to be like, are you or no?
Flashlight and first aid kit are going into her bag.
Okay. And there's not a boombox or a stereo, but one of those like small, like, I don't know, 10-inch long, thin, with like the handle on it and the big rabbit ear style radio in there as well.
No, she'll leave that.
Okay.
She's not greedy. And then she's gonna grab the kayak and a paddle.
Okay.
Or an oar, sorry.
You begin
Toss
to
me
like
Fritos before you get out of there, would you please?
those are perfectly not stale. Fritos don't go bad.
Exactly.
Fritos last forever. They're an apocalyptic snack. There would be soda.
Oh, sorry.
God.
Sorry. Holy shit. Any carbonated beverages?
This isn't the Midwest, Jesus. You. There are. What is it? There's a couple of cans of New Coke left in there.
Any Crystal Coke?
No,
Crystal
Pepsi.
I don't think
Crystal
they've not
Pepsi didn't come out yet.
No.
It's just New Coke. There is I believe a faded yellow can of Mountain Dew. And that's it. There's only like 3 or 4 cans left in there, and an Orange Crush, just to round things out.
She takes the Orange Crush.
Okay. And if you've never seen an 80s can, they don't pop top like these. They peel off.
No, they have the peel off things.
They have the peel off. Yeah. So, if you've never seen 80s cans of sodas, they have the little thing
I was
on
born
them.
in '83, but do you think I remember this
Listen,
shit?
so they don't pop off like a normal Coke. They pop and you peel it off.
Okay,
and then it just
and
leaves a giant
then
hole.
our pop came in bags, okay? Just like our milk.
What the fuck is wrong with you people up there?
Weird. How did it hold the
joking.
carbonation?
I'm just joking.
Oh, okay.
Your water comes in boxes. Your milk comes in bags. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the kids look a lot like the milkman. So.
Right? Yeah. So you grab an Orange Crush. You toss this plastic kayak out of here. You throw the double-sided paddle out, and you kind of place the first aid kit, the flashlight, all that stuff on the side as you're handing out like chips and snacks and beverages, and you ransack the snack shack, and you kind of hop out. What's your plan here?
So
I'm
when
gonna
Dee
take
Dee-
it to.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just saying her plan is to take it to the middle of the lake.
Okay. Dee Dee?
By the time they're done here, Dee Dee has like pockets bulging of soda and snacks. and she has a face that's covered in red dust, and like there's like snot lines through it, and
Yeah.
and she has a buoy strapped to her back with rope, like a rocket. And because because she also has to float, she knows she has to float, and because it would be she's trying to be safe, she's trying to be a good
Yeah.
girl, and she has the radio in one hand,
Say,
Okay.
and she turns it on.
Shane looks at this and looks at the buoy and is about to say something when he realizes that might actually be the smartest thing for her to have.
Yeah.
Um,
Is there like you said there's buoys, right?
Yeah, like the ones that are like the small ones that are like probably like this big, like the size of a
Yeah.
softball, that are like
Oh,
tied together with
I
ropes.
thought they were like
No,
this.
You have the one on your back is like the lifeguard one,
Okay,
the big red one with the handles on it. But the ones you see fish are the ones that are like, you know, maybe the size of a softball, maybe a little bit
like
bigger,
the
that
swimming-
have
the
the rope.
swimming
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Okay, so is there a weight or something for like weighing down buoys? I know you
The
just
rope,
described something
the rope
completely
of them
different.
would have a weight on them.
Like an anchor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm basically looking for something that can sink to the bottom, but be controlled from the top. You know what I mean?
Like to stop the kayak.
Yeah, sure. And I'm kind of just playing this by ear, right? So like something weighted that will go to the bottom, but has something on top that can be like held on to.
I tell you what, there's enough rope and stuff in here that you could probably make something like that,
Okay.
like a
Yeah,
rock or something you can tie up.
Okay, yeah, okay. So she comes out with the kayak. Actually, she's probably just kicking it along the ground. Actually, just like shoving it with her foot, so it's sliding. And she's got the double-sided paddle, and she's got rope on the side. And then she's probably gonna like MacGyver like some kind of like rock with some like broken pieces of plywood maybe that are around, and create like an anchor.
Shane, meanwhile, has led Dee Dee by one hand down to the shore of the lake. He's taken out one of his sweat towels from his backpack, dipped it in the lake, and is now trying desperately and probably at least somewhat, futilely, to at least clean Dee Dee's face off.
Yeah, you take
Stop.
you
makes
take
those
this
snorting
this last
sounds.
look over your shoulder, and you see no less than 4 of the white Dorito bags just littering the floor of the snack shack. And somehow, in a matter of maybe a minute, you've never seen a crustier kid than one covered in 4 bags of Dorito dust.
Yeah. If he
None of us
doesn't
would ever
clean
know
it
this
off
by firsthand
pronto, it'll be
firsthand
frozen.
evidence.
Yeah.
Listen, I used to sleep over at my grandparents' house, and the every time I'd sleep over, they would have a case of Coke and 2 bags of nacho cheese Doritos for me, ready to go. That was my go-to kid snack all year round. So me and Dorito dust, we go way back. Yeah. So you attempt to scrub what is essentially paint off a fire hydrant at this point, from Dee Dee.
If nothing else, I'm going to try to at least concentrate on the snot lines, because A, that's just disgusting, and B, that's going to make it even easier for more snot to run down and get into her mouth, which is even more disgusting. So,
And then there's Shane going,
Orgy.
trying not to gag.
no, this is also unfortunately not new for Shane.
Yeah.
This is my payback for all the body horror we torture Melissa with.
When Shane feels like it's just about good enough, Dee Dee ends the experience with a nice big old sneeze.
Right
Tissue.
onto him. Right onto him.
Onto him, of course, yeah.
Yep. He reaches down, rinses off the towel as much as he can, gets another one from his backpack because he never has just one, and gets that one wet and proceeds to try to clean himself off. Which is interesting because he's doing it all with one hand because the other hand is still holding onto Dee Dee.
Holding Dee Dee.
Jesus Christ.
Gross.
This poor kid.
This is This is trauma.
Yeah.
What is Fish doing as this happens?
Yeah, she's in the zone now. She has pulled the kayak into the water, and she's hiked up the rope, so she's all ready, and she is gonna get her feet wet, and because she's gonna walk it in carefully, like tiptoe, trying to with her little her Chuck Taylors, and she steps in, and then she's gonna across the gravel and sand, and she's going to, next time the two of them probably look at her, she is in the water already, out of reach in this kayak, and she's gonna like wobble a little bit because I've never ridden in a kayak before, and she's gonna carefully plow her way into deeper water so she's floating, and she's gonna make her way to the middle of the lake.
I want you to know that my heart wants you to roll, just so I can see you tip over completely upside down in a kayak,
No,
which
flipping
is
over
super
in
easy
a
to do.
I know, and flipping over in a kayak freaks me out because I'm like, I don't like the idea of being trapped underwater.
Yeah, because your
freaks me
legs are
out,
inside of it, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, like how
Yeah.
do I get out? No, absolutely not.
For sure. Where are you going? Just the middle of the lake?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so you begin to paddle out there. And by the time you're already out there, that's when Shane and Dee Dee notice. Rocket Dee Dee, of course, notices as she has evolved. Notices that you are out there in a bright red kayak, just slowly chugging your way across the lake towards the center. What are you guys doing as you notice that she's out there?
I want to get in a boat, Shane. I want to get in a boat.
No, she's got the only one. Shane is going to, at this point, again, very resignedly, he's actually going to take off his shoes, socks, hoodie, and shirt so that if anything happens, he is going to have to go swim out into the middle of this freezing goddamn lake to save, to save who his brain has imprinted as the stand-in for his sister.
Aw, no. I'm gonna torture you with that. No, I'm just kidding.
That happened the very first episode that Shane was in.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so she's going to paddle out, and then she's going to try to stop and like slow down a little bit, and then she's going to carefully lean over the side so she can look into the lake, and yeah, she's gonna do a vibe check. If she can.
A vibe check. Yeah, you can do it. You can do a vibe check. Go ahead and go ahead and give me an investigation.
Okay. And she's going to tie. She's also going to have the rope tied to this makeshift anchor.
Okay. Just like sitting on the kayak.
Yeah. One
Okay.
success.
Nice.
Okay. You look down. You look down into the lake. And you see like the sun sort of reflects off of the lake, and you can kind of see like sunbeams sort of piercing down into like the first few feet of the lake's surface water. And you look down and you can see like the ripples of you bobbing and moving in this water. And you think you can see like more ripples than you should see, as if there are like you see the ripple on the surface, but then you see more ripples like beneath the surface, and that's not how ripples work. You're fairly certain. Like you're not a water scientist, but you're pretty sure ripples go on top of things, not underneath things. So that strikes you as strange. And you notice like the further out you look, the more you see fish, and the closer to you are, you don't see any fish. Now that could just be because you are in a kayak, or not.
Yeah. Oh, now that I'm thinking about it, there's absolutely I'm way too far. I've gone too far. The ripples. She's gonna roll up her sleeve, and she's gonna stick her hand in the water
Okay.
as far as she can go. It's just see if she can feel anything. Because is there a river attached to this, or is this a what do you call it?
A spring-fed stream, a spring-fed pond.
So spring from the bottom.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So she's gonna see if she can feel anything that would account for these weird ripples.
You stick your hand under there and you kind of give it a second, right? Because immediately it's that shockingly cold, almost numb sensation of being in 0-degree water. And then you leave your arm there once you sort of adjust, trying to feel any kind of current under the water. And you do not feel any kind of current.
She's gonna drop her anchor in, and she's gonna feed it down. She wants to know how deep it is. Not like she can measure the distance or anything like that, but she's gonna she's just gonna drop the thing down and see how long it takes to get to the bottom.
You know what?
She ain't master and commander here. She can't.
That's okay.
I'm gonna the fathoms based on the knots in the rope.
Tell you what. I'm gonna impart knowledge for everyone to use in their regular lives, but also because Fish is a pretty smart kid and has been established that she is good at school, and you do have 4 in mind, which is your smart skills. As you're kind of going through that exact same thought pattern of like, I don't know how, I guess like it's this many feet deep or whatever, right? You something happens in one of your maybe it was like a science boot camp, or it was one of the times like you went with your mother to camp or something like that. Good.
She knows the length of the rope because it was coiled up on hooks in the back in the shed. So it was like, 25 foot. 50-foot rope, so like the people who need rope for working at the lake, they can pick out the length that they need. So she knows she has a 50-foot rope.
Yeah. Additionally, because you are smart and you pay attention and you have some knowledge unlocked in your brain, for some reason it sticks out in your mind that you know that if you hold your arms out all the way, that from fingertip to fingertip, that is roughly the same height you are.
Yeah.
So you know that if you take a rope and you extend it all the way this way, that's approximately 4 foot 10 inches. So you know every time you go like this, that's how many feet you just put inside the lake. And that is real. That's a fact. You guys can use that in regular life.
That is correct, Michael.
I know.
I fact check you right here. That is correct.
I use it all the time. That's how I measure things in the army. I just go like this. Yep.
Okay, so she's 5'6". So I had that written on her character sheet.
Damn,
so
that's a tall 13-year-old. That's
how
tall I am. That's how tall I am at 36. I'm a a little guy.
Okay, I'll make her 5'5". How about that?
Thanks.
A nice round number.
My 12-year-old daughter is 5'6", so I think
yeah. Girls get taller first than boys. So.
Anytime I reveal that I'm a short king, I just say that I'm 5'6". I'm average height for a girl. And still average height.
Actually, no, I'm gonna keep it 5'6" because that's like half a foot, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that makes it easier.
That
so
is like half a foot. So you begin to pull this down, and you're expecting a lot being deep here. 10 feet.
It's only 10 feet deep. That's like diving distance.
That's like break your neck if you dive. It's only 10 feet down.
Yeah. That's what this high is like your ceiling in your
in your house
or something.
Yep.
Yeah, not very deep at all.
Yeah, she looks over her shoulder. It's only like 10 feet deep.
Shane, you've lived here your whole life. That's not true.
No, it's not. Out there?
Look, I'm 5'6". I put my arms out like this. It's as long, it's as wide as I am tall, and I did 2 of these. So it's 11 feet deep.
Shane actually has a momentary flash of the Vitruvian man and goes, no, that checks.
It is known.
Yeah, it's also known that Manitou Lake is far deeper than Okay, congratulations, you found your something weird. It's not that, I mean, let's do me a favor, paddle about 10 feet further out and try it again.
She does so. She 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and she's gonna measure it again and drop it down. Experiment.
35 feet.
Whoa! And you can see her going significantly.
Told ya.
So backwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and measure it again. There's
10
something
10
here.
feet.
There's something in the water. And she like excitedly looks over, and like the boat is like,
Roll me a move.
this is exciting.
Oh no.
No successes.
No. Oh,
You
someone's
can,
gonna get cold
you can
and
spend
wet.
a luck. You can push. You can use your pride. You are going in that lake.
Yeah. No, I want to go in the lake.
Okay.
You're gonna get yourself
you-
killed is my middle name.
Shane, you see Fish like shout back, "There's something in here!" And then you see her lean heavy on one side of the kayak, and with barely any need for pressure, you just see the whole thing bloop, and it is bottoms up. Fish, you are underwater. Your legs are firmly tucked into the kayak, and you can feel water on your legs now as water begins to sort of rush up into the kayak's seat hole, and you are underwater.
Okay, she's going to try not to freak out and get out, get her legs out, and get to the surface.
Great, roll me another move.
Mm-hmm.
We spend effort.
Yeah.
I will.
Oh no.
I will re-roll that.
Okay.
With my pride.
There
Two
we go.
successes. Yeah. So not with my
Okay.
pride, with my luck. One of my
Okay.
lucks.
Cool. You do so, and because you have 2 successes, I will say you managed to also hold on to the paddle, because you were about to lose
And
that.
paddle,
so
and then
you-
she's gonna hold on to the boat, the upside down kayak.
Yeah, and you do it. It sinks a little bit, and you can hear this like boom of a bubble sort of passing through, and you can feel the kayak getting heavier. And you know it's only a matter of time before you're just sort of waiting here in the middle.
Can I flip it back
Nope.
around?
Nope.
It's not gonna empty the water out, obviously, but
No, it is, so a plastic kayak is pretty light, but a plastic kayak full of water is like easily 100 pounds, and it happens pretty quick. So as soon as you like get up and you try to flip it over, the worst you're gonna do is flip it right back on top of yourself, because it starts to like get heavy in one side and start to tip down.
yeah. So she will try to get back on it because she doesn't know. She's 13 years old. She'll flip it back around and try and like get back on it, and then just probably like
Yeah, it just sort of like
flashes
barrel
back.
rolls into a point where like you're just kind of holding onto it like flotsam, right? Like
Yeah.
like a driftwood
Okay.
with the paddle.
So Shane, his eyes get wide. He turns to Dee Dee. Says, Dee Dee, do not move. And
I'm okay. I'm okay.
and he goes into the water.
Shit.
Okay, you swim out there. What is your intention here?
So my intention is, if I feel like it's possible to get, okay, so my intention is to get Fish back to shore.
Okay.
If I can do that with either the kayak and or the paddle, that's gravy.
Okay.
The paddle will float.
The paddle
Right.
will float. So one success and a willing fish to get back to the shore.
Okay.
3
And-
successes to get the canoe, the kayak back as well. That
Okay.
bitch is
And
heavy.
this is move.
This will have to be force, because your move would get you out there, which you can do that just fine. It'll be force because you're pulling her back with you. So it's very,
I
very
will-
strength based.
You sure
And he's
can't
going to be
move?
swimming out to me. She's doing something as he's making his way out.
It's force. It is force. Move will get you there. It'll get you there fast, which you'll succeed at. I'm not worried about how fast you get there. But once you begin to pull her back, that's more endurance, that's more strength based than it is just trying to get there quickly, right? So you go ahead and make me that roll, and then we're gonna cut. To Dee Dee first, and then back to Fish.
Okay.
I think Dee Dee has done two things. So all of that with Fish going out there, all of that took a long time, and that was really boring. And she talked Shane into letting her climb a tree that was on the shoreline, and Shane thought that was a good idea because it's hard for her to disappear when she's up a tree, right?
You can't get in the lake from a tree. That's a fact.
Yeah, well, she
Well,
could,
not
but
easily.
maybe Shane doesn't have that much imagination. Dee Dee does, but anyway, so she at some point is up that tree. I would like to be able to get up a tree and look around and do like an investigation kind of thing.
Yeah,
of
you
that
can do
tree.
that. Do you have all the things you had on you still? A little backpack, the radio, all that stuff? And
Well,
the
she said
rocket gear?
She has definitely the rocket. It's strapped to her back though, so that shouldn't be a problem.
Right.
She has her backpack for sure strapped to her back. And then yeah, she still has Cheeto dust everywhere and like food in her pockets. I mean, obviously there's like a little bit of a clear spot in the middle, but there's still Cheeto
It's
dust
just a
everywhere.
less orange spot. What about the radio?
Yeah, right. The radio she set down, but we're coming back to that in a moment.
Yeah,
because she's doing two things.
Go for
The
it.
first thing is while Fish is going out there, she's up the tree. So
yeah, go ahead and roll me investigate. Now, what is Dee Dee looking for?
On the lake, she is looking for something that is a disruption in in both cases. She's looking for disruptions in the patterns in nature, right? So in the lake, disruptions in the patterns in the water or color discoloration, and the same in the trees. Like, is there a break in the trees? Is there a different color of the trees? Like, is there something going on there?
Like, do the trees make a Fibonacci sequence type of spiral?
Golden ratio,
No?
yeah.
Golden ratio, yeah. Go ahead and roll me investigate.
Let's see. Okay, I got a success. That's good, because I don't have a lot in investigate.
Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah, you look out over the lake, and there's a lot of commotion, right? There's a lot of ripples from Shane swimming out there. There's a lot of ripples from fish just like bobbing in the water, essentially. But you look down there and you try to concentrate and find the things where things are weird, right? Like something that like sticks out to you. And you see something, or you think you see something. Excuse me. There's a shimmer, as if sun catching some kind of metal, in the lake, right near Fish.
So as Shane is heading out there, that Dee Dee, well, is it when Shane's heading out there? I guess, like, we'll figure out timing of this. Dee Dee says, there's something in there. It's like a car or a spaceship.
Perfect.
And you get the it's right there, which is meaningless from the 40 feet away.
Is it by Fish? I'm sorry, did you say it was?
Yeah,
was it near Fish?
From where you are, it's probably somewhere in like the 5 to 10 feet around Fish, and definitely underwater.
Okay, so she'll say that and point, because pointing helps.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and then she sees that Fish is in the water, right? And that's a bad idea. So she's gonna scramble down, and she's gonna build a fire.
Okay.
Because there's probably
Because look, I think
like
we've
cookout
established
pits
that Dee Dee just nicks stuff. Like,
Yeah,
she
yeah,
just doesn't have like concept of consequences.
She's a Kendall, yeah.
Yeah. So she has a lighter, and she knows that nature you can set on fire, and so she does that. And because Fish is going to need to be warm. And then she turns on the radio, because Fish will want to have some music to listen to while she warms up.
Yeah.
Pulls out her trusty container of lighter fluid.
I like that nature can be lit on fire. Yeah, I think what you have is you have a like a shitty like Bic lighter that used to belong because now it belongs to you. Used to belong to Donald Dinger, a friend
Yeah.
of yours, because he
Yeah.
used to light his firecrackers with that.
He did.
You know,
And his cigarettes.
And his cigarettes. An old humdinger of a time. And you pull out this thing, and it's one of those clear ones, right? And you can see there's barely any fluid left in there. And you light a small fire. And by a small fire, I mean you probably just grabbed a bunch of sticks, and it's probably like a very small fire to keep fish warm. And you turn on the radio. Yeah, let's see. You turn on the radio. You just kind of click it to the on position, and the station is already set in there, and it begins to spark to life, and you hear subject approaching target location. All perimeter rate. Prepare for retrieval. Threshold is reached.
And she starts waving and she's like, Jane, fish, come back.
Oh, shit.
That is the plan.
Go ahead and make that roll,
Okay.
Shane. 2 successes. Okay, cool. So you can retrieve. Shouldn't be a challenge here, Trevor. You can retrieve fish and the paddle or the canoe.
Paddle in the canoe. His fish is doing something.
Fish is in the water. That's natural.
Yeah.
I can spend my pride for a third success, which you said could get everything back.
That's true. Yeah.
I will do that.
Okay. So before you begin to drag her back, Fish, what are you doing? So we'll say in the timey-wiminess of this, right? Dee Dee is in the top and she's yelling. There's something in there. You see Shane is swimming out towards you. What are you doing in this moment, Fish?
Yeah. When she's like, I'm okay, and she's struggling to hold on to this kayak. She's like, like this ain't SoCal water she's in here. So she's cold. But when Dee Dee says, there's something in there, she's like, she looks back at Shane. She's like, I'm okay. And then she's like, and she's gonna go down. She wants to see what that thing is.
Okay. You disappear under the water. Shane, you hear, I'm okay. And then boom.
I am diving down
to try to meet her there. Okay. You dive under the water, Fish, and you see you find without much hesitation, you find the thing that Dee Dee was talking about. You see a glint of light, something silvery gray in here. It appears to be slightly buried, so you're only seeing like the glint of like a corner of a piece of this thing. But it is in that 10-foot high mound or whatever, like a sandbar essentially. It is buried under the ground.
How big is
Definitely a spaceship.
Definitely a spaceship. It's spaceship size. No, you're not entirely sure because it's mostly buried. So you have to kind of like get down there and dig it out. Are you trying to swim down and dig this thing out?
Yeah. Ooh. Light of the Navigator. When did that come out? 86.
Is that what's playing in
It's
your
like
head?
the ship from Flight of the Navigator. What one? Yeah, she's going to try and well, if it looks like big that it's gonna be too big to dig out, she's gonna at least try and figure out what it is, and she's gonna like touch it. Like,
you get down there and you begin to dig, and you kind of like move like that like goopy sediment layer away from this area, all the fish poop, and you see there is a roughly like boombox sized metal object. It doesn't seem to be accidentally here. It seems to be intentionally placed here. It's metal, and there are blinking lights on this thing. You see a bunch of like sensors. You imagine like things are sticking off of this thing.
Is it heavy?
I mean it's you're in water, so it's not as heavy. Things weigh less in underwater.
But if I'm holding it, is it weighing me down?
I mean, yeah, it weighs more than yeah, so it weighs more than
Yeah.
you not holding it. But you're fairly certain you could swim up with it.
Okay, so she will swim up with it.
Okay. So one-handedly you started swimming up. Shane, you can see you're still a little bit away, but you can see that she has something in her hand that she's kind of like tucked under, like the way you carry books at school, right? Tucked under and sort of like swimming with one hand up towards the surface.
It's probably like hot from radiation or something.
Yeah, you have super cancer now.
Yeah.
Am I close enough that I can swim to help her before she gets to the surface, or should I just meet her at the surface?
You meet her at the surface. You by the time you get there, she'll break the surface. It was only a few feet for her.
Okay.
So you bob up. Shane, you arc up, and when the two of you break the surface, that's when you hear, "Shane, there's something!" And you see Dee Dee is flagging you down from the shore.
And there's a fire.
And there's a small fire.
Small fire.
Which does not seem to be Dee Dee's concern.
Yeah.
I look at Fish. I give Fish what tries really hard to be a glare, but is like freezing, and I raise one shivering finger. You owe me that $5.
No,
let's go.
This is what is this? And she's like, okay, she's gonna. Is there anything written on this thing?
Can we get right first?
I don't know if you've ever tried to look at something in the water as you're like kicking like a duck and trying to flip it over. It's incredibly difficult to examine something while also floating.
G just doesn't think it's a good idea to remove this, but Fish doesn't know any better, so
yeah, you're not gonna have, unless you can if you can get to the dock, you may be able to look better at this thing. The dock is closer than the shoreline, but there's where you are just floating. There's no amount of you being able to flip this thing around and take a look at it.
Well, let's go towards the shore just because Dee Dee is like screaming to get our attention.
And lighting
fires. So I hold on to the back of the kayak and kick, and he will.
And she's like,
he's taking the time to drag a dry, gigantic branch towards the fire. By the way,
yeah, like a full not
a smoke signal.
Not a piece of wood that you'd put on a fire, like a branch that fell in a storm, and it's like the whole limb of a tree.
Light the beacon!
That is there. So every once in a while, Shane, you butterfly up, and you just see Dee Dee is getting closer and closer and closer, which is what it's basically a small tree that she's dragging over as you bloop, what the fuck? Bloop. Oh no. Bloop. And then it's on the fire. So by the time you get to the shoreline, there's just a bunch of dead leaves, and then the branch that was connected to the thing, and then in the center is this small fire, just slowly heating up the dead center of this tree branch as you break the water and are able to stand and walk your way back up to shore.
This is the best time of year to have a random unsanctioned fire. Right?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So Fish's teeth sound like one of those chattering skull toys that like Shane can hear her teeth chattering, and she's holding on to for dear life to the kayak and to this box, and she's trying to kick, but she's losing her momentum, I think.
Don't worry, Shane's got you. He pulls everything ashore to a point where he can you swim one and you hit rocks a little bit. So you realize you can stand up in this shallow and pull yourself up and fish accordingly and move over to the fire, which does nothing for how cold you are.
She's gonna stay right there. She's gonna move out of the water, which is probably at that point, you're probably warmer in the water than you are outside the water, because good old hypothermia. But she's gonna get out of the water, and her teeth are chattering, and she's going to investigate this device.
Okay, go ahead and roll me investigate.
Okay, 1 success.
So Shane is walking over. He grabs his shirt and his hoodie, both of which are still dry. And he looks at the two of them and looks at Fish and says, "I'm taller than you are," and throws her the shirt while he starts drying himself off with the hoodie.
I'm okay.
Turn it inside out so I can get the fuzzy side.
You see, as you look at this thing, you see a number of things. One, it is not that large. What the large part you're holding is a protective case, like a waterproof case. Inside that, you see a smaller device that is roughly the size of like a lunch pail, right? Like a kid's lunchbox. So whatever it was in a watertight case to be submerged here. It wasn't accidentally there. You see that there is a logo or something, a symbol on this that is a symbol of a stylized eyeball within a circle. And you see that engraved on the interior thingy is the letters like almost like a a serial number, basically. It is VP dash AE dash 0147.
If it looks like you are going to touch whatever's in the case, Shane will tell you to stop. Just a second. Dee Dee. He grabs Dee Dee's hand and walks over and says, "Whatever's about to happen," and he puts his hand on Fish's shoulder, "it's going to happen to all of us."
Okay.
Dee Dee says, Dee Dee, by the way, Dee Dee had climbed a tree and then lit a fire and then yelled and then dragged a branch. She's sick, and so she's tired. So if you look at her now, Shane didn't need to like grab her hand or whatever. She's exhausted, and she actually looks a little bit pale. And at some point she'll say, I know that you're out there. They knew that you were out there."
The grabbing her hand was
Just to pull her to get in with everyone else, yeah.
more
Yes.
to keep contact with her.
Sure.
Yeah, it is. I am grabbing her hand and not letting go. Than more than just leading her over to where Fish is.
And just to clarify,
In case you all teleport,
Exactly.
Yeah. Into another dimension.
Yeah.
The eye is on the casing,
Yeah.
and then the serial number is on the little box, the
Correct.
lunchbox thing.
Yep.
And is the lunchbox thing openable?
The case is openable.
Okay, so I've opened a case and it was metal.
Are you opening the case?
Well,
So
sorry,
so the exterior case has the exterior case has a window on it, and you can see through it. The exterior case is metal. It is sealed shut. It is openable. It is watertight. You can see through the plexiglass essentially that there is something smaller inside of it. The smaller thing has that serial number. The larger case has the eye on it.
Where is the glow coming from?
The lights. The
Okay,
lights
so it's
on the
like
face.
blinking lights.
Yep.
Okay.
You have not opened it yet until you tell me you do so.
What type of lights? Like
Red, like diode lights. I don't
like
think.
80s technology lights.
Yeah.
Oh, so casing with lights. And then the eye is on it, and it's etched like this eye.
Not like it's like etched, like carved into it. Like it's like
Stamp or something.
Yeah, like it's like intentionally put there.
Okay.
And Dee Dee's whining and saying, "Shane, they knew you were out there."
Nothing we can do about that now, Deed.
And is it warm?
No.
Like, is it giving off any kind of heat?
No.
And there's no like radioactive symbols on it?
No. I mean, you haven't fully opened it to check if there's, but there's no radioactive symbols on the outside.
Yeah. Do you think I should open it? There's something inside with a serial number on it.
They're watching.
Should you?
What
No.
do you mean?
Is that going to stop you? Also, no.
I don't know. She looks at Dee Dee. What do you mean?
They're watching. They knew you were out there. They said so on the radio.
Who said what on the radio?
they said that you were suspects or test subjects or
Test subjects? I told you. I told you.
I don't know. They said you were something, and then you were out there.
How long ago was it? How much time do we have?
Well, you don't have any time. They know. They're here. They're looking. She's looking up.
Yeah, she's looking up too. Like there's no like security camera. Oh, I guess I didn't actually check because I just assumed there wouldn't be. Is there a security camera on the shed?
There's no security camera on the shed. There's no attack helicopter waiting for you. Everything here seems quiet. Mundane, even.
And how does it open this box?
It's a couple of latches, it's like a tough box, or a like a what the hell are those called? A pelican case.
Like a tackle box type shit, just more heavy duty.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. It's blinking lights, and I go. So she's gonna do a second investigation just to see, or maybe like a tinker or something to see if this thing looks like it's like armed or like booby trapped or something like that.
No need. With your first investigation, you don't see any. There's nothing sticking out of this thing that would be like problematic, or you don't see any indication of. This seems to be like some device that seems to be tracking something.
And then one last quick question before I will open it. If she tips it, does this thing inside move?
No.
Okay.
No, it seems to be like a padded in there.
Yeah. So with shaking hands because she's cold, she flips the locks.
Okay. There is the loud thunk as they go, and you can hear almost like a gasket, like a as it opens, which is actually mundane. And you can see that it opens up, and there is a like a line around the bottom of the case, and there's like the opposite line along the top of the case that sticks out, so it would seal it closed. And there's a rubber gasket in there to make it fully airtight. So it really was like the pressure of it opening kind of made a sound. As you open this thing, and you see inside this small, also metal device, roughly the size of a child's lunchbox, blinking lights on this thing. And you see, that's what you see. I will say, for no need to roll at all, the first thing you notice is when you open the lid of the case, you do see a set of what you presume to be initials.
Initials? Okay.
Inside the lid. Inside the lid, yep.
Mm-hmm.
You see the initials D.O.
D.O.
Yep, as if they were abbreviating something.
D.O. And it's like stamped in officially?
No, it's scratched. As in, like, somebody was taking ownership of the thing, and they scratched their initials into it.
Weird.
Or maybe, don't open.
Too bad it's on the inside. Too bad it's on the inside.
Yeah.
A weird way to call dibs on something.
Roll me, let me check the episode list. Yeah, you were there for Winter Whispers. Go ahead and roll me, comprehend? Hold on. Comprehend.
0 successes. I'll spend my extra luck.
Can
Okay.
DD roll comprehend too? Because she was
yeah, you can.
No successes for me. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me go
no
back
successes for DD.
Oh,
either.
sure. I'll give it a shot too.
You were also there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nope.
No, we do not comprehend a thing.
Any amount you guys can luck, you guys can push, you guys can pride if it's applicable.
My pride is you're not the boss of me. And I have my mom's journal for my iconic item.
You know what? If you want to use your mom's journal as an iconic item, I'll give you a +2. So just roll the 2 dice, G. You can actually roll it twice because you re-rolled.
Oh, 2 ones. They does not want me to.
So on that would be for the first roll, and then this would be for the re-roll. Nope. Still no.
Oh
Nope.
my god.
So Dee Dee's gonna use her luck to re-roll, and then this time she's gonna pull down her goggles.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use. Well, I have to spend my pride, so that's the only thing I have left.
I don't think your
What's-
pride applies here. You're not the boss of me. Doesn't apply to this. One success for Dee Dee though. Dee Dee, your mind is a disaster at worst, a wonderland at best. And most of the time, people aren't even sure if you know all the stuff that's in there. It's just sort of like the junk drawer in a house where you just absorb all kinds of things and can sometimes recall them. And you hear Shane saying like, don't open or do open, and you hear like Fish kind of puzzling about this. And you just sort of blurt out, Daryl O'Rourke.
Oh, it's not Daryl, is it?
His name is Daryl.
No. I just read that. I read it. That wasn't what it was. I just went through my notes.
Dee Dee doesn't even know where she knows that name
Unless,
from, but she knows it from somewhere.
Unless it's a different O'Rourke, but it's fine.
No, that's his name. It's Daryl.
James O'Rourke. I have it in my notes from the actual session.
Nah, dude.
But if it's supposed to be Daryl, then that's fine.
Yeah, it's actually Daryl James O'Rourke. He goes by
Hold
his
on,
middle name.
hold on. Let me just show you how wrong you are, G. Ready? Show to players the character note. Daryl
Where did I
O'Rourke.
get James from?
I don't
Why is
fucking know.
James written in my notes?
I have no idea, dude. It's always been Daryl.
I'm gonna go back and change that.
Narrator. Little do the players know that Mike
Yeah.
just changed the name on the note just now.
No, it's actually originally it was an NPC that Elliot made, that Snow made.
Yeah,
His name's always been
anchor.
Daryl. Yeah, it was his anchor.
Yeah, he's a fucking skeevy little bastard.
James,
not Elliot, but O'Rourke is.
James O'Rourke. The fuck's that guy? Yeah, so Dee Dee
Okay,
blurts
anyway.
out. And Dee Dee, for your own information, inside in the episode Winter Whispers Part 2, when you were underground again for the second time for you, underground inside the Radio Shack, there was a scattering of papers, and one of the papers on one side of the room said Daryl O'Rourke, the other side said another name, but that name escapes you. But Daryl O'Rourke just sort of pinged in your brain.
James O'Rourke.
James O'Rourke, the twins, the O'Rourke twins. It was not James O'Rourke. It was a woman's name. Oh my god. Fucking who's James? Oh,
So she
goodness.
screams out, Daryl O'Rourke.
Fist shaking.
Yeah.
So I am now going to take my first real look at the thing on the inside. Other than the fact that it has some blinking LEDs on it, does it look like something we would see in the Radio Shack?
No. No.
Okay.
Well, but we also know that O'Rourke was into some weird shit.
Yeah.
It looks like something you could have seen in the basement of the Radio Shack.
There you go.
But in the Radio Shack proper, no. This looks like I don't know. You know what? You're an academic sort. You're an extracurricular guy. You've been on like the battleship school field trips and shit. This looks like
Sure.
government grade. This looks like military grade something.
Jesus.
She's going to pick up the metal box, the lunge kit thing.
Okay, cool. And you previously rolled a success for investigating this thing. So now that you take it out, you see on one side of it, on like the short side, you see that there is a metal like placard put on there, like where you put like a serial number and like that kind of shit on there, and it reads EM Anomaly Tracker Gen 2.
EM anomaly tracker. It actually says anomaly tracker.
Mhm.
Oh. Gen 2.
Yep.
And other question, do the lights change when I've opened it?
Nope, they're just blinking, doing their own thing. I mean, they're blinking, they're not blinking in a pattern, so like discerning what the change is kind of hard. They're still blinking. And all of them are still blinking in an erratic manner as they always were. You see that on one side, and then you see on the other side a red triangle. This is like a sticker. A red triangle with a exclamation point in it that reads "Caution: Unstable Field Hazard."
Unstable field hazard. And that's just like on like the back or
On the opposite side.
And it's not like it can't be open that I can tell or anything
Nope.
like that.
No, this seems to be like a like it can be open. Like there seem to be like screws set into it, but you need to take this thing apart.
Okay, but it's not like okay. It's not meant to be opened naturally.
Correct.
Okay. Unstable field hazard. What do you think that is, or what it means? And her teeth are chattering.
All right. Well, if
GEM.
EM electromagnetic anomaly tracker unstable. Okay, so this is something to
Electromagnetic.
something to. Shane stops as he realizes the words he's about to say, but can't. There's no other way. There's no way to escape it.
What?
Obviously it's something that tracks electromagnetic anomalies.
Do you have a Dee? Do you have a compass?
We have a compass.
You actually do. In fact, Fish actually has a compass. On the Swiss Army standard issue binoculars, in the bridge, there is a small compass in the center of them.
Yeah. And also a side note, Mr. Daryl O'Rourke, that's his Swiss Army knife that I have. Just saying.
All right. Maybe that's the
Come full
same.
circle.
Maybe that's the same one that carved Do into the box. Who knows?
I checked the blade on the size.
It fits perfectly. The treads are his.
Yeah. Okay, so she's gonna see if the compass gets affected when she puts it right next to the box.
You don't even need to. You pick up the binoculars and the compass is just spinning.
Look. There's no more north.
We should go. I thought
that
we
is
should
so
go,
something I would
Shane.
would have expected that out of DD.
Are you okay, Dee Dee?
Yeah, Dee Dee's been getting more and more pale.
I don't know.
Yeah.
She's gonna close the box. No, she's gonna take the rock that was part of her anchor,
Mm-hmm.
put it in the box, in the casing, close it back up.
But take the lunchbox size thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're taking the tracker.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm all about fucking up Rourke's little experiments here.
Okay.
And she's gonna overhead. Oh no, Shane, throw it back. She's gonna go do it, but then she stops and gets Shane to toss it back into the water.
Sure, why not? He looks back at Fish again pointedly. No, really, $5. And then he turns
I'm
around.
good for it.
How deep could I? So, and I'm like 6'5", I think.
Holy shit!
Roll me a force, and we'll see how far you can hammer throw this thing into the lake.
Well, no. First, I want to know how far I can wait out.
You can wait out. You can wait out until it's a man-made lake, so it's a smooth transition. So you can wait out until it's too cold. You can wait out until your hips if you want to.
Jesus, him and Blake are like giants. Holy shit!
He stops just before the Ghiblis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go deeper.
I really don't like you right now.
Roll me a force.
Come on, roll 20. Oh.
If you'd like to push, you can. You're gonna throw it anyway. Once you release it, it's
Yeah.
gonna go, right?
I will take upset
Okay,
and
that's
roll
fair.
again. And
I would be
take the
upset.
condition after I reroll, right?
After you reroll, yep. Okay,
Tried.
so you and like you go to you're a track and field guy, right? So you go to do like almost like the discus throw.
Yeah.
But you are thigh deep in water, so there's a bit of a stumble, and you don't fully get that spin arc. And you intended for it to go straight out into the lake, and it kind of goes off to the left and arcs. It's definitely in the lake for sure, and it's a good 20 feet out there. But it's
It has a
you know,
loose rock inside, which doesn't
yeah,
help.
and it's like just thumping around
Yeah.
as it like rotates. But it boom, a big loud splash. Yeah, you see it disappear into the water. And as you all watch this thing disappear, you realize that the sky's reflection on the water has sort of dimmed. Not anything super strange, just that you're pretty sure it was like noon when you got here, and now it's definitely closer to like almost dinner time.
What? Oh shit. She looks so she has he's wading his way back. She's like watching the water ripple, and then she
So
looks up.
there are no ripples, or there are no discernible ripples, because he is like, he is.
Yeah, so it's just like
fucking
splashing. Yeah.
He is. There is no care being taken at this point.
She looks at her watch.
It's close to being dinner time.
Holy shit. I mean,
It's like 4:30.
I think time went past, like, faster than it should.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you get put in cryo freeze. I storm
It's
right past.
4:30.
I storm right past the two of them. Is the shutter from the
Still wide open.
section? Okay. I assume, especially if this is also where like they keep the buoys and the kayak, there has to be a towel in there.
Yeah, sure. Reasonable.
I vault over the top, over the counter, grab a couple of towels, and the side door, is it locked from inside, or was it also
Locked from
padlocked?
inside.
Okay. I will unlock it and walk out.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Okay. Leave it open. Stop. Walk back. Get three more bags of Fritos.
For your troubles.
Yep. Walk back, and I don't give one to either of them.
It's fine.
Savage.
She's getting the bikes up, and she's putting the EM tracker back in her bag, and she is getting the bikes up and getting Dee Dee ready to leave.
Yeah, and as that happens, Dee Dee's been like sitting down back against that tree, head on her knees, and when Fish gets her up, she turns to the side, tosses her cookies, which is like filled with like orange,
Yeah.
orangey orange,
Yeah, Fish is like
Artificial
unnatural
orange. Yeah.
And she says, "I want to go home, Fish."
Yeah, we're gonna get you home. And her teeth are like, ew. We're gonna go. Don't die though, okay? And don't get pneumonia. Otherwise, we won't be able to become astrophysicists.
I just want to go to sleep now.
The three of you get on two bikes and begin to pedal home.
But before that happens,
yeah,
Shane walks over to the bikes. He is like storming over at this point. He is pissed. He looks at Dee Dee again, his face right in her face. Not a word to anyone. Do you hear me?
Yes, Shane.
say
Don't
it back.
be mean to her. Don't be mean to her, Shane.
To anyone.
And she puts her arm around Dee Dee. Don't yell at her.
Dee Dee has the pathetic sick face where you can't help but go,
Yep.
oh,
Fine.
Face that
Sorry,
Melissa
let's
has
go.
right now.
Yeah.
Gross. Gross.
It's the,
It is really gross
it's-
too, and she looks
yeah.
pretty gross.
it's orange.
Orange.
So I
It's not.
once I am most of the way
Splotches of vomit.
right off,
Yeah.
I kind of hand one of the towels to her. It is wet but cold. Clean now. Better. Pegs, let's go.
A somber ride home as the streetlights begin to flicker on. As both Fish and Shane, there's a mix of emotions as the two of you want to get back as quickly as possible. But the faster you do, the colder you are as you are soaking wet, and the wind chill is picking up. As you make your way back, the sun's going down. You pedal as fast as your will allows it. I imagine a number of the towels are over Shane's back so that Dee Dee doesn't get as wet as possible. And you pedal off. And there is some sort of wave and a nod as you split directions. Shane going back towards where Dee Dee lives or his own house, and Fish taking off. And we have one more scene with Fish, but before we get there, we have one little aside. As the three of you pedal off, we cut back to the shoreline, where we see a lone radio sat there by itself, and we hear
With a fire.
units repeat. Adjust all equipment at set to significant. Code black may be required. Disruption escalates. And then we cut as Fish enters her apartment, climbs the flights of stairs, and into her house. Fish, what do we see?
Yeah, she's I think she's maybe dried off a little bit, but I'm sure I'm not sure what the temperature would be like, but she is beyond cold. Her
Yeah,
lips
you're
are-
not dripping, right? So it's probably it's probably dropped down to low 50s, high 40s. It's still pretty damn cold. So that'd be I don't know, 3-4 degrees Canadian. And you
That's a lot, but
It's more than
still
that.
I'm soaking wet. The water is probably close to freezing, right? So
yeah, 32 is 0 for us. So 32 is your 0.
Yeah,
So you're in
45
single digits.
Yeah, 45 is 7 and a little bit.
Yeah, all right, there you go. So yeah,
you're right.
cold. So you're not dripping, but you're damp. Everything is damp and cold.
Yeah. So she rubs her shoulders and she unlocks. She takes her key off her shoelace and she unlocks the door and she walks in.
And every step is that squeak, squeak, squeak.
Yeah.
As you have wet, soggy shoes.
Yeah. She actually before she takes off her shoes outside, and then she will walk in. Outside, in the hallway, and then walk into the apartment.
Yeah. You walk in.
Which I'm sure is nice and warm. And she's like, yeah.
Yeah. You see your apartment as you left it. There are piles of mail and or bills on the table, a sink full of dishes in the kitchen in this small apartment. And you see your father is reclined in what is the central piece of furniture in the living room. Looking over a big brown CRTV with the rabbit ears up, a piece of tinfoil connecting it to the window, the metal window pane, and you see your father sits there, a fresh Milwaukee's Best in his hand, and a hole in his gray sock as he notices you walk in.
And she
you can see a disapproving look.
backpack, like thump, and it clunks on the floor because there's a lot of big things in there. Hey, Dad.
Why are you wet?
Oh, I was running around a lot with Dee Dee and just sweaty, and she's like trying really hard not to have her teeth chatter.
You sweaty from head to toe?
Yeah,
Have
she
you met
likes
Dee Dee?
she plays she's kind of insane, but it's lots of fun. I had fun.
Well, that's nice.
She like goes to like and she's like, I'm just gonna change
Streetlights
and,
are
like,
on.
yeah, I lost track of time. And then Dee Dee was sick, so I had to help Shane get her home.
Is Shane gonna help pay the bills, or
No, he's only 15 years old, so he doesn't pay bills.
so he's not your responsibility?
No, but he's my friend, and I'm gonna help my friend.
It's gonna be hard to help your friends from the prison that is your room.
No, but
Streetlights are streetlights.
I know, but I was being responsible. And then I'll do the dishes before I start dinner. I promise.
And I've never seen anyone sweaty from head to toe. Your clothes are soaked. Your shoes are dripping.
And she's not wearing her shoes.
You're holding them like you have them or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
The one time he's actually observant.
Yeah. One time he's actually awake.
1 week.
She doesn't look at him. And then can I okay. Can I ask you something, Dad?
Yeah.
How come you don't like the loop?
Well, that was pretty obvious, kid. That's why we're
I
here.
mean, but why are we here? Why did we come to Glenbrook?
To find out what they did to your mom.
But okay. But so what did you find out?
Not a lot. They keep everything pretty tight over there. It's been tough to get any kind of information without finding myself in an actual prison. But I know they're behind it. I know they did something.
Yeah, like she was supposed to be doing something, but it doesn't make sense. She was supposed to go up on the shuttle and she was supposed to help them with their Project Stargate, and it was supposed to protect something. It was supposed to protect the neural. She was supposed to do the terrestrial tessellation, and it was gonna protect the neural net. But she didn't get to go.
I'm not entirely sure about all that, kid. But I know that one day you don't just wake up with terminal cancer.
What if she's not actually dead?
There's a pause, and your father's face sort of contorts in a way that you're not entirely sure what emotion he is experiencing right this moment.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes a long pull of his Milwaukee's Best. swallows and looks over to you and very flatly just says, go to your room. Go
I know she's alive.
to your room.
She grabs like her backpack. I'm not gonna give up. I know Mom's alive, and I am gonna get her back. And then she turns and petulant teenager, stomps into her room and she slams her door.
You hear the loud click of the remote, and the channel changes as you are walking down the hall. And you are left in your room. And that is where we end this episode of Glenbrook Chronicles. This one was called Scavenger Hunt.
Sad scavengery.
Sad ending. But the news for this is the next episode picks up shortly, and we will pick up right here. This is a 2-part episode. Both parts are happening today, and we will pick up on the other side of Fish's door. So let's go around, do our outroductions so that we can get the hell out of here, do our after show, and then we can reset and jump in for the next episode. So we'll start with the Zoomer herself, Melissa, playing Dee Dee. Who are you? Where can we find you? What are you up to?
Hi, y'all. I'm Melissa Meyer. You can find me as Drathier on the Discord, and gameswithstories.com is where all of my fan art for unMadeGaming can be found, so check that out if you have some time. Otherwise, sometimes I play some games here with Patreon things and stuff. Oh, and we have Mundus Novus tomorrow. That'll be lots of fun. And then next weekend we have Age of Always.
Yeah.
So, and that will also be lots of fun. So lots of good stuff to look ahead to. So
jam-packed.
Yeah,
Jam-packed time. Also in Mundus Novus and Age of Always, G, who are you? Where can we find you? What are you up to?
Hello, I'm the friendly neighborhood lightning invoker. You can find me in the Discord for unMadeGaming. You can find me modding during the week for the Witching Hour and all the things Patreon, including the campaign and Mundus Novus with Melissa and Age of Always, which is not Patreon, which is just a fan campaign for Age of Always. And you can find me on Blue Sky, and yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. And last but not least, Trevor, who are you? Where can we find you? What are you up to?
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Trevor, the Vitruvian Meeple. You can find me here doing Patreon one-shot stuff. You can find me on my YouTube channel at Vitruvian Meeple. We're running some Cypher campaigns right now. We just did a quick break for a Halloween episode, but we will be back to our main storyline it's Saturday. Monday night, day after tomorrow, time has no meaning anymore. At 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we're having a lot of fun. It's not always you get to see a devil and an angel and a duck. Other than that, you can find me on Blue Sky now, or you can find me on Mastodon at Vitruvian Meeple Dice.camp. You can find me in Blue Sky at Vitruvian Meeple at bsky.social.
Hell yeah. And that is it for us. If you guys like what we do here, do yourself a favor. Do me a favor. Join us on Patreon. It's $5 hairs. You got it. That's like pennies a day, as they said in the 80s ads. For just pennies a day, you can help a starving streamer. Those are the 80s ads, right?
Yeah.
Michael and his friends don't have until the 12th of never.
Yeah, in the arts, the ASPCA. Join us over on Patreon. Get all of our after shows. Get all kinds of fun exclusives. More stuff coming soon. I don't know what it is yet, but I know that there's more coming soon because I'm working on it. So go check that out. While you're clicking on that link down below, click on that Discord link. Join us in the Discord. Be a part of the community. Be a part of the conversation. Talk about this game. Talk about all kinds of other games. Join our Looking for Group channel. All that fun stuff. But for now, that's it from us. We will see you guys next time. So from all of us to you, bye-bye.
Bye.